Oh, you know what I am the right person to speak on, though? About? Is Maul. I watched it. I freaking watched it. I watched from episode 3 to episode 10 all in a row. I want to preface anything I'm about to say by saying I really enjoyed the show. I would happily watch another season. 100%. I enjoyed the show. I think it was good. I thought it was very well done. I really enjoyed it. Happily watch another season of it. I do have some things I didn't like about it. However, I just want to make that so clear from the get-go. Like, I thought it was a great show. That should be like in my head, that should be like the minimum for what a Star Wars show should be. You know what I mean? Like, I think it just ticked all the boxes. You know, for me, it ticked all the boxes. It had an interesting story, it had an interesting premise, which is actually shockingly rare. Characters that, you know, developed throughout the show, and yeah, had, like, you know, emotional moments and struggles, and yeah, it was good. I really liked it. Okay, my issues with it. They're few and far between. Can I just, again, I do want to be clear. Very positive on the show as a whole. Okay, my first issue is I actually really liked, like, the Maul storyline as a overall. I wasn't a huge fan of the whole thing with the Captain Lawson and his son. That, for the first few episodes, right? The whole thing with Captain Lawson and his son, I don't really get it. I didn't really understand the point of the whole thing with him trying to pick between, like, his job and his son. I really didn't get that. Because there was no moment throughout the entire thing where he, like, even considered picking his son. You know what I mean? He always knew, he always just picked his job over his son. There was no, like, moment where it was like, oh, he might actually, you know, pick his son over his job. It was always just, he just picked his job with pretty much no hesitation. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he thought about it a little bit. He was like, oh, that's a shame for my son. But he just picked his job anyway over it. And that had no, other than the feeling that it invoked of, oh, I feel bad for the son because his dad's not around as much. We had no reason to care about what the son thought. Because at that point in the show, the son had no impact on the story. We knew nothing about him. Obviously, he gets involved later on in the show. Oh, spoilers, by the way. I'm gonna, like, spoil the whole thing. So, you don't want to hear about the Maul show. Break off. No, spoilers, obviously. But yeah, I mean, his son obviously gets involved later on in the story. But at that point in the story, you know nothing about him. You have no reason to care about what the son feels like. It would make sense if, you know, maybe later on, the son got involved with his dad's work somehow in, like, on the kind of smuggling side of things, or ended up having some way that, because his dad didn't spend time with him, he did something which negatively affected the story later on. I would be like, okay, yeah, great, this all paid off to something. But the entire bit, like, thing of him not spending time with his son had zero payoff at all, outside of the thing of, oh no, he's not spending time with his son. You know what I mean? If it was Clone Wars, it would be a 5-episode plot about him and his son. That's true, it did not drag on. They stopped that on, like, episode 3, which I gotta respect. Episode 3, they killed it. They just murdered it. Or it was like something, it was around episode 3. Maybe like 4. But yeah, they didn't keep that the whole season, which is good. I'm glad they didn't. They cut that as quickly as they could. As soon as the story started to move on, that plotline moved on, which is great. I'm glad. This is the thing, a lot of the things I had issues with, they kind of pulled together by the end of the season. I think it took a couple episodes to, you know, properly find its feet, as every show does. But yeah, like, a couple things like that, it was like, I just don't get the point of it. Yeah, they did, 100%. They just wanted you to feel bad about him. Bad for him, sorry. And there was no reason outside of that, which makes it feel like, I don't get why we spent so much time on that in the first couple episodes. Realistically, I don't want to see anything to do with Captain Lawson. I just want to see Maul. And the bits in the first few episodes where you do see Maul are awesome. They're the highlights of the early episodes by a mile. But why was there not more? You know what I mean? It's like, dude. Yeah, so there's that. Great. I know, I'm heartless. I don't care about Captain Lawson. But, second thing. 2 Boots. Okay, this is a thing they fixed later on in the show, and I want to be so clear, I think this could have been an issue, and then they made it not an issue. I do want to say that from like the get-go here. Again, something they sorted later on. You're telling me you don't want to see how annoying 2 Boots is? I'm about to get on to 2 Boots, don't you worry. I think at the start of the show, he was too human. And it's a huge thing that, you know, Disney have done this a lot over the past wee while. Droids have not been robot enough. They can have something of a personality, in the same way that like R2 and 3PO had a personality. But they were still droids, they were still robots, they were still disposable. Is he? Yeah, I would say so. I think they fix it. Again, they fix it very quickly by him being the thing of, you know, they really push the following protocol. But I think he's just a bit too... I don't know if pally's the right word, but he's almost like Lawson treats him kind of as a co-worker. And I know that sounds silly, but he's not a co-worker, he's a service droid. And I think, as I say, I think they 100% fixed that later on. Because, you know, there's the whole thing with following command and stuff like that, but yeah. Spybot is more human than 2 Boots in your opinion? Fair enough, but yeah. I think it's a general thing across the board that it's very easy to... Just because it's a character involved in the story, it's very easy to make them human, because it's a character you want them to care about. As I say, my opinion personally, I think they fixed it. They sorted that out before the season was done. With the whole thing of him calling the Empire and stuff. I was a bit disappointed, I will say, about the fact that the second half of the show kinda just became another hey, let's escape for the Empire type show. I know there was more to it than that, and I know there's more going on. And obviously they set up for a second season, and there's clearly more to the story than that. They've kind of done the escape from the Empire bit. But it's just, you know, I'm sick of seeing Inquisitors. I have my own issues with Inquisitors, which go well out the bounds of this story. And are just to do with Dave Filoni not knowing how to follow the rule of 2 in the slightest. But yeah, me personally, maybe playing like Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor didn't help with this. I'm sick of seeing people run from the Empire. I still really enjoyed it, as I say. I think it was a great show. I really did enjoy the way they did it. I think I'm just a bit jaded on the Empire as a whole. I just want to say, I would have been happy if the whole show was just these smuggling rings and like just Maul and his, and Maul and all the underground stuff. I think that would have been awesome. Just that on its own. There was no need to involve the Empire and everything. For me personally, anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think the stuff with Maul itself, I don't know how this would appear for a, you know, someone outside of Star Wars. I think they did very well, him still being very much a villain, but also showing his struggles. It's something that's like, it's really easy, again, it's really easy to, when you have a villain as the main character of your show, to make the villain seem like a hero. And it's something that, again, it's a sort of Disneyfication of stuff where no one's really a villain. They're just misunderstood. It's like, no, Maul was still a villain. And I think that was made so clear because there was the constant comparison with Daki, the Jedi. That was his name, right? The old turtle dude. There was the constant comparison to him. It's like, Maul's lost everything. This dude has also lost everything. Look at the differences in their paths. You know what I mean? Someone clearly made the right choices. Maul did not. And I think that's still made very clear. I think that's very well done, personally. I don't know why I keep saying personally. I need to stop, but yeah. The best Inquisitor fights we've ever seen. Oh yeah, see the lightsaber choreography in this. Absolutely insane. I 100% agree. I think, yeah. Inquisitor fights as well, especially. Yeah, definitely the best ones we've ever seen. I 100% agree with that. Doesn't mean I'm not sick of the Empire, though. Yeah. But I think they did that balance with Maul really well, and I think it works. Part of why it worked so well was because of the constant comparison with the old Jedi. I think that really helped with that, and helped kind of show the difference between the two of them. And yeah, I mean, I think the struggles with Maul were made pretty clear as well. Rather have the Empire than the First Order person. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd much rather the Empire, but, you know, I'd rather a new type of villain, other than, you know, galactic power that rules in an imperial way, you know what I mean? Like, just a new style of villain, or a new person to run away from, you know? I just feel like the whole running from the Empire has run its course. For me, anyway. And I think, as I say, I think playing games like Fallen Order have not helped with that, because I've sunk probably about 100, 200 hours into the 2 games total. But that doesn't help, because obviously that's not show content, and I just get annoyed at the Stormtroopers just for existing in that game, you know? I think there are other influences as well, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's all that. And then, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I worry about how... Because this, if they do a Season 2, which I imagine they will, the way they set up the end of that first season, I imagine they will do a Season 2. If they do, I'd be worried about how they're going to keep Maul as, you know, very clearly the villain like he was in this show, because, you know, the old Jedi isn't there anymore. Obviously, he died. I'd be worried at how they're going to make sure, you know, make it clear that he's still, you know, he's still a villain. Yeah, he's got his struggles, and yeah, he has his problems. And you can still have that, but he's still very much a villain. And I'd be concerned if... I mean, I'm not saying they can't, but I'd be concerned how they're going to keep that. It's going to require more work this next season, because they don't have the comparison of the old Jedi Master the whole time. As I say though, overall, I really enjoyed the show. I mean, like, yeah, like the art style, the animation style was so good. I loved the animation style. The way that, like, it all looked painted. I don't know how to describe it. It all looks like painted, and oh, it was really nice. And the animation was crazy. Yeah, like the choreography and stuff. Oh my goodness. I know I just spent like 10 minutes complaining about it, but the positives so heavily outweigh the negatives in this case. I mean, like, all the things I've mentioned are minor things compared to, like, how genuinely good some of the, like, the peaks of the show were. Yeah, no, it was a great show. It's why I wanted to, like, start that conversation by saying how much I enjoyed the show first, and then talk about the bits that I didn't like about it. It's like, no, let's make this clear first. I just want to make that so clear from the get-go. I enjoyed it. But yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, the art style was so good. It almost had that kind of... You know, like in Tom and Jerry, this is a crazy thing. I know it's crazy to compare this to Tom and Jerry. You know in Tom and Jerry, when like the background things are obviously background, and the things you're going to interact with look different? It almost had that feel to it. Like, you could almost tell the things that they were going to interact with because they had a different vibe to them. Like, animation-wise, which is such a weird thing to say, but it felt like that, the background sometimes. It was like, you know the background has nothing to do with it here, because it just looks like a Van Gogh painting. It's crazy. What do you think of the future of Devon? Do you think she'll completely embrace the dark side? Can I just say, Devon's a really stupid name? Sorry. Devon, for me, is a place down in England. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Sorry, that's got nothing to do with the quality of the show. I just think Devon was a really dumb name. I think she will, yeah. I think the whole setup with her is to make her Darth Talon. I think that's the point of the setup with her. Is to be like, hey, look, it's a Twi'lek, she's been trained by Maul, she's turning evil. I think she is Darth Talon, I'm fairly certain. I think that's the whole setup with it. So yeah, I think she will embrace the dark side, and I think the next season will be kind of their training, and I think, I hope, yeah, not I think, I hope, that the next season is all focusing on how Maul gets to the point that he's in Rogue One. One, how Maul gets to the point that he's in Rogue One, and then how he gets from that position to where we see him in, not Rogue One, sorry, Solo. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I just said, in Solo, sorry. In Solo, where he's like, you know, head of the Crimson Dawn and stuff, which looks like he's about to get there. And then show how he falls from that grace to where we see him in Rebels. You're so confused. Okay, sorry, no, let me start that again. Season 2, what I want to see is I want to see Maul and Talon trade up. I want to see Maul kind of, you know, get revenge on Crimson Dawn with the dude with the lines on his face, and kind of start to take over that underground empire again, and get to the point that he's in Solo. At the end of Solo, when he appears to Kira, after the dude with the lines on his face dies, or gets killed. And then I want to see him fall from grace, and get to the point where we see him in Rebels, when Ezra finds him on outside that Sith temple. I want to see, that's what I want to see. I want to see the Maul story wrapped up, because then we have it from start to finish. We have the entire story, there are no gaps. And then Maul has like a finished character arc that is just, it's not tarnished by the awfulness of Disney. You know what I mean? It's like, then we have Maul from start to finish. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I want to see, and I want him to be preserved in this way that he can't be touched again. You know? That's what I'm hoping for from the future of this show, is to get us to the point that we see him in Rebels, basically. Is fill that gap between now and Rebels. Because we have everything else. We have everything before that, we have everything after that. It's just that one bit that we're missing, and and that's the bit that I really want to see. And I really hope that's their plan. I really do hope that's their plan. And I hope they don't drag it out either. Like, if it's just one more season, great, fine, that's okay. If you can only fit the story into the season, then yeah, that's fine. And show me realize how strong Seer is. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, yeah, yeah, it's crazy that fight scene with Vader. He puts no effort into that. He's put zero effort into that. He swings, like just a normal swing, and they all go flying back. All three of them, Maul included, which is crazy because you've seen through the show how strong Maul is, and he just gets sent careening backwards by one, like, hit from Vader. Like, he puts, like, almost no effort into that, it looks like. It's crazy. And yeah, the fact Seer managed to 1v1 him is just unbelievable. Like, girl, you're insane. Just watching Vader fight, especially in this, like, it's just... he doesn't seem to, like, he's so powerful. You know, it's like, everything else, you know, you've seen all these people throughout the entire show who are, like, these incredible fighters who can do these amazing things, and then you just, all three of them at once, don't stand a chance against Vader. It's insane. It really does show just how, like, powerful and strong he really is.